Oh, merry stock market. Oh, man. Woo!
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. Yes, my hair's a freaking disaster. Get over it. Anyway, we got to address a comment that I got in the video where I exposed the paltry returns of Jeremy Financial Education. And it's actually a legitimate criticism. So let's go ahead and check this out. And then I'm going to show you, regardless of what his actual returns are inside of his public account, because we can never truly know what his returns are. At the end of the day, Jeremy Financial Education is manipulating you. So in this comment here, this guy named Brett says, that is not how you calculate cumulative returns. Remember in the prior video, I showed that basically he made almost nothing over the last couple of years. You can't add up the cost basis of all his realized and unrealized positions, as he would have likely reinvested the proceeds from the sales into new purchases. You're assuming he invested 2.315 million since the beginning, and his account is now worth 2.55 million. And that's not true, as his current balance is only 1.2 million. There's also no indication of how much he has been depositing into the account each year. You can't achieve the 57% unless you have 2.315 million in since the beginning of 2019. His real return is 20% before taxes, and you can't compare that to the return of the S&P unless you knew exactly when he deposited the funds. As an example, if you deposited equal amounts each year since 2019, say $250,000 a year, you would have about 1.24 million, a real return of 24%. Now, regardless of whether that demonstration that I showed was 100% accurate, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. There is so much unknowable stuff. There is so much manipulation that this guy does. There is so much mystery around this guy. You cannot figure out what his true returns are. At the end of the day, the only information I had was the information that he publicly showed me in his account. And his long-term total loss was what? 17%? Let's go ahead and look. So right here, we can see his total gain and loss at the end of the day is negative 227%. But there's 1,000 different ways that you could use this or jumble the numbers around and say, hey, look, this is how much he made or that's how much he made. At the end of the day, we don't know. I only have the information that I can't see. That's the freaking grift. You cannot figure out what his returns are. However, let me show you something real quick. And I'm going to show you how he manipulates people, okay? This is very simple. And shout out to Stepsis My Epsis. So this right here is a record of every time Jeremy made a video about a certain stock. And he said, oh, it's a buy, or I might buy it, or maybe, blah, 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 blah. And we could see the price of the stock that he made the video on, and we could see the results, the price of the stock, okay? And the last time, this was probably updated a couple weeks ago, maybe. But we all know he's been absolutely freaking annihilated in his investment returns. But here's how he manipulates you, okay? Ignore all the red here. Ignore it all. Ignore it all. All he has to do is sell Switch. See Switch down here? He has an 89% return. All he has to do is sell that and show you that on his little realized gains thing in Fidelity. And he could say, look, I got an 89% return. I'm a freaking genius, guys. That's all he does. That is the grift. You cannot 100% verify his returns, but you can use the evidence that has been presented to you in multiple formats, and you can look at his cumulative total return inside of his brokerage account, and you can draw some conclusions. Now, if you believe this guy is actually a great investor, after all the garbage, unprofitable stocks that have collapsed by 80, 90%, if you still truly believe this guy is a good investor, I don't know what to tell you. You cannot figure out what his returns are, and that's the problem. Now, we're going to play this clip, and I'm going to show you what his little grifter buddies that work for him are telling people. And I want you to look at this. See all the red, see all the destruction. Go look at his freaking VT versus Jeremy stocks tracker, which he started after his stocks had already been wrecked, and they're still down more than VT. And you tell me, do you think this video clip that I'm about to play is realistic, or do you think it's a massive, disgusting scam? Let's go ahead and play it. It's like unbelievable.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just had two kind of. I know we're kind of wrapping up on our time. I just had two kind of numbers questions for you, if that's all right.
Sure.
Yeah, because as I said earlier, I love crunching the numbers and seeing, when I'm able to hit my retirement number as far as my portfolio size. Do you know roughly? Obviously, I know we can't predict the future, but do you know roughly what should I expect as far as like stock, I guess, annual returns?
As far as the private group is concerned, I mean, at an average, you're looking at 30% at an average.
Which one? You said 13 or 30?
30.
30% returns? You go back and you look at his freaking portfolio, okay? Does this look like 30% returns? Or does it look like maybe he just takes his YouTube money and invests it into crappy stocks? Maybe that's what he's doing. And remember, he's made an absolute fortune off of YouTube and his little grifter course. So he tells people, or he tells his minions to tell people, they can expect a 30% return. And I even heard that Jeremy gets 70% returns. And then he goes ahead and shows you in reality that he's losing money hand over fist. What more do I need to tell you, people? If you cannot have a transparent audit of his actual returns, not what he's showing here, and I did the best I could with the information I had, if you can't see his audited total returns, net of taxes, you cannot trust this guy. All you have to do is look at all the crappy stocks that he picked. Let's go ahead one more freaking time, and let's go look at his VT versus Jeremy stocks tracker. And remember, for the 1,000th time, he started this after his stocks already got freaking wrecked. Let's see, right here, okay? He thought he was such a freaking genius that he would just absolutely crush me on the VT versus Jeremy stocks tracker. And he's underperformed. And this is a manipulation right here. So somebody could accuse me of saying, oh, you're manipulating Jeremy's returns. He's actually crushed the market. He's doing the same thing here with me. Look, VT, I did not start buying VT at $101. I have purchased it because I dollar cost average, and I funded my Roth IRA when it was 108. That's what I do. Timing the market beats timing the market. I'm not a freaking market timer. I dollar cost average into index funds. But here, I can tell you my cost basis in VT is not $101. And I can also tell you his cost basis is not these numbers right here. He just picked the stock price on the freaking date. That's all he did. And if you go back and look at this video, I mean, look at the cost basis of some of these, okay? Meta, 122 per share. Wasn't he talking about and when it was at $250, $300? Oh, but now it's 122. Corsair. His Corsair basis is freaking horrible, 27. Tattooed Chef, $12 per share. Wasn't he buying that in the 20s? How can you trust this? He can show you this all the time. You don't really know what his total returns are. And the biggest indicator that this is a bunch of BS, go down to Voyager. He has said many times that he has lost $300,000 on Voyager. Look down here. I only see negative 15. Where's the rest of your Voyager shares, Jeremy LaFufu? And also don't forget, I remember seeing this a long time ago. He bought a bunch of call options on all his little clown stocks. And let me guess, those options have probably expired worthless. And if they're not, they've probably been absolutely annihilated. The losses this guy has suffered are incalculable, but you can never know. But you have to use your judgment and say, is he outperforming the index? Is he getting 30, 40, 50%, 70% annual compounded returns? No, he is not. And all the stocks that he bought have freaking proved it. You cannot trust this guy. He is a scammer. He is selling you a dream. That's all he's doing. I don't like the guy. He's gross. And here he is. Oh, I hurt my feelings. People say I'm not the guy. And all he does, he just sells stocks that are up, okay? He could sell ELF right here and say, oh, look, I got a 608% return. And all you see is gains, big numbers, but that's because he hasn't sold the stocks that he's got absolutely freaking wrecked on, okay? I don't know what else to tell you freaking people, okay? You can listen to this guy. You can pay him your money. You can continue to buy Tattooed Chef. You can trust his stupid process of revenue my avenue, buy highly unprofitable share diluting trash, or you could dollar cost average into an index fund, save yourself God knows how much he's charging people, and end up just fine in retirement. That's it. 30% returns, yeah. Ready for the Jeremy Bassing. Strongman, stop making YouTube videos and get back to work. Yes, sir. When tax season comes around, who knows what I'm going to be doing. Strongman, I've DCA'd into VT while watching your videos, and I'm up. Thanks for shilling VT. I mean, VT can go down too, but it's for the long term. It looks like Jeremy has no intent of apologizing. I mean, it would be humiliating for a future billionaire to apologize, even if he calls us his family from time to time. Oh, and he's also a long-term investor. But you see, he's selling stocks all the time and paying capital gains taxes and short-term capital gains taxes. That doesn't seem like long-term investor to me. You are a threat to his business, Strongman. He might be forced to buy VT to recover his life. His business needs to collapse. It's a scam. It's 100% a scam. It should not exist. That's like starting a Weber grill with $100 bills. Imagine paying Lufufu $20K and then copying his stock picks and being down 90% on his trash stocks. His Discord is going to riot on him, okay? They already are rioting. Damn, Steps is putting in some good work. Yeah, let's look at this one more time. If you watch his YouTube videos, do you think you're up or do you think you're down massively? But people give him so much credit because he buys a ton of stocks, and when one goes up, he says, oh, look what I did. It's all about total return, clown. Jeremy isn't getting 70% returns. His little clowns in his Discord are not getting 30% returns. And if you think they are buying the stocks that he's been talking about, you're a foolish clown, okay? It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'll be responding to that. I think it's crazy to believe Luffy is a great investor. You only have to look at the video in which he announced he bought Tattooed Chef. He was predicting a 40 PE for a frozen food company. Guys, Tattooed Chef's financials, they're bad, man. They are bad. Even the salesman thinks the 30% was crazy. He was kind of hesitant. That's got to be illegal. That can't be legal. You can't just say that, man. Who wouldn't want some minions? Anybody that actually believes Jeremy spews is a moron. Hundreds of thousands of people watch him. Put him in jail. He is now on a crusade to justify his marketing of FTX. Indirectly, of course. I say he's not going to apologize. He's not going to do it. He doesn't care. He spends his YouTube money on Tattooed Chef. That is such a waste. And you know he's got another account that we don't see where he has massive losses. Where are the rest of the Voyager losses? What about your Nat stock, Jeremy? What about all the other stocks that you've been absolutely annihilated on? Oh, 70%. Well, the grift. If you can't 100% disprove my flawed argument, then you have no argument. Well, Jeremy, why don't you pay a third party to audit your total returns? Show everything. Pay a third party to audit your returns. And if you do that and you show you've beaten the S&P 500, I will retract everything. But even then, you cannot sit there and say you get 70% returns. I bet the shady Tattooed Chef management pays or has paid him. He says he hasn't. I don't know, man. I mean, just the fact that he's doubling down on Tattooed Nutsack, I don't get it. I just don't understand it, man. If I was a billionaire, you couldn't pay me to smash the... Oh, God. He had at least another $1 million in Tattooed Chef, and it's a private account. Plus, dude, those call options, I'm telling you, those are things that are like in the gutter. Those are probably down like 90, 95%. He's an FTX agent. At the end of the day, it's a battle of philosophies. Go to the beach and buy index or stress out trying to cherry pick stocks. Even if you have... I mean, you can pick your own stocks, but holy crap, don't pay this freaking clown money to learn how to lose it. Teach yourself. Start exposing Stink Blow. He's so boring, man. And his channel's dying. He's a loser. He's got a much bigger channel. Yeah, he doesn't get the views, though. And his defense is everybody's attacking him, but he's like Warren Buffett. He's going to be right in the long term. Buffett, well, of course he's look at the fundamentals of the companies that he's investing in. That is my criticism. I don't care about whether his stocks went down. It's all about the fundamentals. And the fundamentals that he says, oh, when you buy a stock, you're buying a business. Well, the businesses that he's buying are trash. Preach a strong man. Lafufu is going to be his legal name thanks to you. Jeremy doesn't even use spell check to audit. It's a disaster. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to pump out a few more videos, and then I'll be doing some stuff with the family today. Cheers.
Bye, 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 bye. I know I'm a grifter strong man. You could lick your hand and smack me in the nutsack. Thank God for Tesla Maesla and you, strong man.